friends, good morning. It is Friday right now, so that means my weekend has started and it is finally summer. I love the summer. It's like one of my two favorite seasons of the year, like summer and autumn. I love those seasons. How about you? Do you guys love summer? I really love it. Just simply because I can wear flip-flops, go outside without wearing a coat and just simply lay in the sun, read a book or dream away. Those are just a couple of things I love to do in the summertime. And today I actually thought it would be fun to kind of like make some summer preparations. Even though it is already summer, I still want to make some preparations for at least my summer vacation. This is the first summer that I'm not going away on a vacation. Like, I'm going away for 4 days, but that's kind of like it. Normally I go for 2 or 3 weeks somewhere to the sun and enjoy the summer. But this year, during my summer vacation, I'm staying home while everyone else is going away. So that means I'm like on my own for the most part of the summer, which is completely fine, don't get me wrong. But I kind of want to prevent for myself that I end up sitting at home all day. So I kind of want to make some plans, think a little bit ahead of what I want to do, what I want to feel this summer. And I thought that the perfect way to do this was actually create a mood board of my perfect cozy cottagecore summer, because those are like the vibes that I really want to catch this summer. I want to go outside of my comfort zone and enjoy the outside of simply my house, just not stay in the house all the time. That's kind of like my goal for this summer. So if that sounds something that you might enjoy to do, then I would suggest stick around. I'm also planning on getting some summer reads, because not only do we plan my summer, I also want to think a little bit about what are the books that are perfect to read during the summer. And so we are going to do that as well. So if that sounds like your cup of tea, then I would suggest grab yourself a nice cup of tea or a cup of coffee, make yourself comfortable, and let's spend this day together. And if you're new to this channel, hi, my name is Juliette. I mostly talk about books and life, and each Saturday I'm here for you with a new video. So if you want to become friends and just make sure you don't miss any notification of a new video, you can always hit the subscribe button if you want. Feel free to do so. But yeah, I think I might actually go and make a mood board, or at least a start on my mood board first, because I do have like some lunch plans later this afternoon as well. I'm going with my parents to a garden center because I also want to make some summer preparations for my balcony. Like, my balcony is completely empty right now except for a couple of dead plants and I kind of want to make it feel a little bit more summery outside too. So I'm planning on getting a couple of new plants, some flowery plants, and yeah, this day is going to be all about the summer, and that's something that I'm really looking forward to. So I have my laptop right over here and a glass of water ready to go, because I'm quite thirsty and it's starting to become a little bit warmer slowly. But what I'm planning on doing is I go to the website Pinterest. And you probably are familiar with the website Pinterest, but if you're not, this is like a free website where you can make this account and you can actually create online mood boards for yourself. And it's a very easy website to find, a lot of aesthetic pictures. And I love doing this, but I'm not only planning on making a digital mood board, but I want to also go a little bit more to the crafty old school side and print out all the pictures that I find and make a physical mood board so I can hang it on the wall. And hopefully this will inspire and remind me on a daily basis to go outside again and go out of my comfort zone. Because I used to go outside a lot, but because of everything that's been happening, and I talked about that in my last video from last week, I am not currently in the best place, and I've been stuck at home, and that's just something that I find really hard to talk about, but also really hard to admit to myself. But I've been very nervous to go outside again, and I want to use this summer to go outside again more, because I used to go on vacations on my own as well, or just go to a zoo or a theme park on my own if I couldn't find anyone to go with me. But currently I am not doing that, because I'm even nervous to go to the grocery store or go to the garden center this afternoon with my parents, for example. So I'm hoping that by doing this, it will inspire, remind me to get out of my comfort zone again and do the things that I love to do, because I love to do all those things. Otherwise I wouldn't have done them anyway. But I love to, and I want to experience them again, if you get what I mean. For this summer, what I'm looking for in my digital mood board and in the end my physical mood board is I want some reminders of activities that I want to do, so I am planning on searching for those. I also want to have some reminders of clothes that I want to wear, at least the style for a little bit. Like, I am not planning on buying a lot of new clothes, but I want to wear a lot of flowery skirts and dresses, and that's kind of what I want. I want to feel. I want to have like a little bit of a flowery cottagecore vibe in my mood board, and a little bit fairy tale like, I suppose. So that is what I'm going to look for on Pinterest, and I'm first going to create my digital mood board, go to all the pictures I found, and then pick out the perfect ones for my physical mood board. And that is what I'm going to do now, and drink my glass of water too, because I want to drink more water as well during the day. So yeah. So I'm actually going to get ready for the garden center, because I have to be there around 1 for my dinner date with my parents, or my lunch date with my parents. And I am planning on not only getting some flowers for the balcony, but some couple of plants for inside the house as well, because a couple of them died. Simply because I moved them too early and they were standing like in the sunlight all the time in front of the window. I'm currently wearing this outfit, like I'm wearing jeans with flowers, a shirt with flowers. Not entirely sure if it actually matches, but I don't know. I kind of feel summery, and I think wearing a flowery outfit might do that since the weather is not helping. So yeah, I'm going to get ready and meet my parents for our lunch date.
Full stop. Can't believe I live in your thoughts. I think about you all the time, morning, evening, and midnight. Such a wonderful delight. Forgo, give up everything that I own. Yeah, I'd give it all up now, just to be with you somehow. Unexpected love was found. You're the rose in a garden, and it shows if I'm honest. You're the leaves in mid-August, and I've come out here to say that I love you. Ooh, ooh.
it's Saturday right now, like the day after. Yesterday we got back a lot later than I anticipated. I probably should have seen it coming because my parents and I are very, very chatty, and we were able to get a lot of plans. We both went with a very huge goal to find a lot of things, and we ended up kind of like, I feel, achieving most stuff that we wanted to get, but that took quite a long time. And when I got back home, I was so super tired, and I probably have overdone myself a little bit the last couple of days. I think I've been pushing myself a little bit too much this week. I'm super, super tired, have a lot of trouble sleeping. So yeah, probably going to take a little bit slower the next couple of days. But anyhow, today I'm still going to take you guys along and do everything that I had planned. But the first thing I want to do is my balcony. Like, I want to get my balcony ready. The weather outside is absolutely crazy, very, very windy. And the weather, because of that, is changing very rapidly. I don't know what's wrong with the weather currently in the Netherlands. Like, it's storming almost every day. And like, not normal wind, like really, really hard wind. And yeah, we'll see how everything goes. But I really want to get that done today. And before I do that, I'll show you guys a little before look of the balcony right now. As you can see, I don't have a lot on my balcony, but the dead plants and one plant pot are already removed, and I ended up also cleaning everything already. So that's something that I'm happy about, that I already achieved. And for now, I kind of want to show you guys what I got in the garden center. So I've got my little haul over here. I've got some solar lamps. Then I have something that I still had in the house, the round thingy. That's something that my nephew made. I also was able to get this thing. I just really, really think it's super cute to stick that somewhere. And then I have got my plants right over here. They're so pretty, the sunflowers, and I have a little bit of lavender as well. So these are like all the plants I got for indoors. I got 3 of these little ones. They're going in the bookshelves. And then I have this one, which is going on top. And I got 2 of these, like a light color one and a darker one. So yeah, we just need to arrange these as well to go in the pots. I've got them right over there. so happy with the end result. Like, I will show you guys a full overview of the balcony later in the video when the lights have been charged and you can see it at night. But yeah, it looks so much more colorful. Like, look at this. Really happy with it. Oei, this is still a little bit too hot, but it is delicious though. It's like Morocco mint, it's Morocco mint tea, and it smells really good. But I'm going to put it aside because it's still a little bit too hot. I've got a stack of books right over here that I am dying to talk to you guys about. There are a couple of, well, most of them are actually simply book recommendations for summer, and I think that most of these books have the summer feel or are just simply perfect for summer. At least I think they're perfect for summer. Like, I do want to put this out. These are my book recommendations, books I like to read during the summertime. And I don't know why, but in summertime I'm quite often a little bit more compelled to genres that I do not always pick up throughout the rest of the year. But before I get to those, I want to talk to you guys about the book that I've been reading a couple of days. And that is The Two Twisted Crowns by Rachel Gillick. This is the second book in the Shepherd King duology. And the first book, One Dark Window, I read at the beginning of the year. And I talked briefly about this book at the end of my video from last week. And I picked it up this week and I'm so happy that I did, because it is perfect. I don't know. I love Dark Window a lot. I loved the writing style. I especially loved how kind of dark and twisted this book is, especially because in the first book Elspeth has this monster inside of her. It's a little bit, I feel it's a little bit of like Jekyll and Hyde. There are some vibes in there at least. She has like this monster who lives inside of her, and because of that she is slowly losing herself, and that is one of the parts that I loved so much about Dark Window. And in this book it is kind of like happens. She kind of lost herself and the monster took over, and I love where this story is going. It takes off almost immediately after where book 1 left, and that is something that I really enjoy about sequels, when they do that. I like not missing time, like we just keep on going where the story left off in book 1, and I'm really enjoying it so far. I love the new perspectives we got. I love Elspeth's perspective. She's like one of my favorite characters, and it feels so dark, and I'm a little bit afraid of how things might end up, because I feel the atmosphere of the book is quite dark and the vibes as well, so I'm a little bit afraid that things might take a turn for the worse for our favorite main characters. But the first book, if you don't know, it is One Dark Window, is about a world where you have these magical cards, and each of these cards give you a certain power, and the king kind of wants to find all these cards. And from some cards you have like a couple, there are like quite a lot to find, but there are certain cards where like a special limited edition and you only have like 1 or 2 from them. And the card that Elspeth actually has gives her a certain power, but when she unlocked this card, a certain monster took kind of like place inside of her, and he's in her mind, slowly taking over her body in book 1. And she ends up in all kinds of situations, and in the end she ends up with rebellion against the king, trying to get this one last very specific card that will give them the power to make sure they can overturn the rule of the king and save the kingdom. And there's also a love story in the background. It is kind of like more in the background. I feel that all the politics and the realm and Elspeth's situation is a lot more up front of the story, and the romance a little bit more in the background. Personally, I really prefer that in romantic stories. Like, I do not always want the full romance in a fantasy story. I like the combination, but at the same time, this is something that I really prefer. And something that I prefer mostly about this book, as I said just before, is the dark vibes of this story. Like, I love it. It is not per se a summer read. Like, personally, I feel that these books are more perfect for winter or autumn, but right now it really was something that I am craving to read, and since my situation is still going on, I am simply a little bit of a mood reader, and I'm just simply picking up all the books that I'm craving at the moment, and somehow I end up not craving the normal summer books that I normally pick up around this time. But one of the books that I've also been reading, or genre, is actually poetry. I've been reading a lot of poetry lately. As I mentioned in my last video, I do not have a lot of concentration right now, so focusing on the full story is sometimes a little bit harder. So I actually am thinking of maybe picking up short story collection again as well. But for now I also picked up a couple of poetry books because they're a lot shorter and it's easier to keep my mind with the story that I'm reading. And one of the poetry books that I really love reading currently, and I feel is perfect for summer as well, is Penguin's Poems for Love, and this is selected by Laura Barber. And this is a poetry collection mostly I feel with English authors or Western authors, and most of them are actually classics where you have like all these poems about love and love situations and the darkness of love and the longing for love, and all these poems are selected by the theme that their poem is about. And I'm really enjoying it so far. I have to admit that reading a lot about love constantly after each other, I'm not saying it's boring, but I kind of prefer the other poetry collection, which I'll show you in just a sec, simply because this has only one theme. And I don't mind that about it, but at the same time, I'm picking it up more here and there in between my reads. It's not something that I read constantly in one sitting. But another poetry collection that I love is A Poem for Every Summer Day. This is a poetry collection selected by Ellie Esri. And this is more of a wider variety when it comes to poetry. They're not just Western poetry. I kind of feel, well, most of them are, to be fair. But they're like selected around the world kind of, and selected also per situation for each day. And the things that I really love, there's like a poem for the Battle of Waterloo for the 15th or the 18th of June. And you have like for certain days there are certain poems. There are a lot of different poets in here, and something that I really enjoy is each day has a different theme and is all connected and concentrated on the summer period. And that's just something that I really enjoy. I love reading these poems each day, and definitely make sure that I keep on reading each day as well. That is something that I kind of feel that I need currently. And I love you have like 2 poems for each day. And something that I really enjoy as well is that for each poem you have like a little information section about the author and about the theme where the poem is about, really. And that's something that I really enjoy. I love picking this up each day. Now we come to a couple of other books that I think are perfect for summer. Some of them I just, well, actually, no, not all of them, but most of them I read during the summer. And there's one that I didn't read in summer. But something that I really enjoy quite often is picking up classics in the summer period. I don't know why, but maybe it is also because I have, as a teacher, I have a longer vacation, and that kind of gives me a little bit more time to read. And when I have more time to read, I like to pick up classics because sometimes I need more time reading a classics. And one of my all-time favorite authors is Jane Austen. And Jane Austen has a couple of books which I personally think that most of them are kind of like perfect for the summer period. But one of them is like perfect, and that is Sedition. Sedition isn't complete. So if you will start reading this, be aware she never was able to complete this story. So it has an open ending. I know there's, I think from the BBC, a series that is slowly making its own ending of the story. But the reason why I think this is perfect for summer, it takes place during summer and it also takes place at the sea. So you have a lot of descriptions about the beach, about the water, about the sun, and the atmosphere in this story just feels very summery. I also read it in summer. Well, the cover screams summer, so you can kind of like see it this way as well. But it feels really summery, and that's one of the reasons why I think it's perfect to read in summer as well. And also because it's a love story, which is probably a little bit more easier to read in the summer. I don't know, I always gravitate towards love stories in the summer. And because of the atmosphere, I think simply it's perfect. But do definitely keep in mind that it doesn't have an ending. It is something that I forgot when I started reading it, and I really started to enjoy the story, and then it kind of stops. And that was really, well, a little bit annoying, to be quite fair, but still a very enjoyable read. And then another book that I love to read during the summer. I love murder mysteries in the summer. I don't know why, it just, for me, the summer, when it comes to genres, most of the time, like besides the fact that I currently am a mood reader, but most of the time I gravitate towards children literature, classics, and murder mysteries. That's kind of like what I love, in combination quite often with romance. And one of the stories that I think is perfect is Agatha Christie's Death on the Nile. And not only, I'm not sure if it takes place in the summer, to be quite fair, but it takes place in Egypt. And well, I've been to Egypt in the summer vacation. I've read this multiple times during summer, so it might just give all-time summer vibes for me because of, well, my past. But I just love this book so much. I love Agatha Christie's work. I think it's very easy, fun to read, especially Poirot. I really enjoy him so much, and I think her work is perfect during the summer period. And the reason why I choose Death on the Nile is simply because of the summer vibes Egypt gives. Like they're going on this cruise on the Nile, and the descriptions about Egypt, the warmth, the climate, it's just perfect for summer. And I just think that this one is something you should be reading during the summer period. And I'm pretty sure it actually takes place in the summer, because quite often people go to Egypt around summertime. But yeah, it's just the feelings of this story I think is perfect for summer. And of course she has a lot of other murder mysteries as well, but because of the feeling this book gives, and especially the atmosphere, I think summer is simply perfect. And then I come to another book which I actually talked about in my last video as well, and that's Done and Dusted by Lila Sage. The Rebel Blue Ranch series is, I think, perfect for summer. I recently read the first 3 books, and they're so light-hearted. They're I don't know, they're so funny. The characters are very well developed, I think. The romances are interesting. And something that I really enjoyed mostly about the stories is simply the humor inside of it. I love the development of the romance and the characters, but the humor and the connection all these characters have together is just really enjoyable. It is about a family who lives on Rebel Blue Ranch. All of the children kind of fall in love, and each book is about one of the children of that family who lives on the ranch. And well, because of that, you get to know all the characters very well, because they are all featured in each book. You can definitely read them separately, but I would personally suggest you pick up book 1 first, simply because you get to know them a lot better, and some of the jokes they make, they kind of refer to the previous story. So if you pick up book 3 before reading book 1 and 2, you might miss out on some of the inside jokes you otherwise would get a little bit better. But yeah, I really enjoy them. They're just a very light, easy read. I would suggest pick this one up when you go and lay around in the park or go and lay on the beach. I think they're just simply perfect. Then another book that I am really enjoying, and I can't find them in my library or in my reading apps, so I might have to buy the sequels. This is also a book series, and I'm not very sure what series is actually called. I probably should have looked that one up before talking about it. Oh, here it is, the Veronica Speedwell Mystery Series. And the first book is A Curious Beginning. These are books written by Diana Rayborn. And personally, I think this is just a perfect combination. It's murder mystery combined with romance and a lot of humor. And I think that's just perfect for the summertime. They're very light-hearted because there's quite a lot of humor in here. It's kind of like a little bit of a sarcastic humor. The story and the characters might not be the world's greatest story or characters. They have development, but there's some lacking here and there, I suppose. But at the same time, it is just a very light and heartful story, and very funny. And I really enjoy the romance, the banter between the characters as well. and I just had a lot of fun reading this one a couple of summers ago, and I would love to continue the series. But as I said, I have to find the sequels. Maybe I will be able to get one during this summer and might pick it up again. But yeah, they're just very fun to read. I had a lot of fun, so I highly recommend them, especially if you like romance and murder mysteries combined. Pick it up because it's just very funny. It's just not the best written, but at the same time, I don't think it cares when you're reading in the summer. At least for me, I don't normally not always care for very well written books. Sometimes I just want to have a great time. And as I said, besides children's literature, I also always love reading graphic novels during the summer. And I was looking on my bookshelves and thinking which one is like perfect for summer, and then I realized there's a certain book series or graphic novel series that I quite often pick up in the summertime, and that is Lore Olympus by Rachel Smythe. I think you can read this one also online, but this book series is amazing. And again, what I love about series, this book series has it as well. When you finish one, the sequel kind of takes off immediately where the last one left off. I love the characters, I love the character development. I think I have currently 6 of the 8 or 9 books that are currently out, and I highly recommend them. There's just a romance story between Persephone and Hades. However, there's also a lot of world building and politics involved in the story as well, because the love story kind of means that not every god really is that happy about it, so they kind of have to fight for their love in the end. But yeah, I love the story. The humor is on point. The drawings were not per se the first thing that drew me into the story. I just really love Persephone and Hades, so that kind of like was the reason why I ended up picking book 1 up. But I enjoyed it so much. It is kind of like I am obsessed with this, and when I started reading it again, I simply can't stop. Last year I think I binge read all 6 of them after each other, and I just loved it so much. Loved being in this world, loved reading all these stories. I highly recommend this one, especially if you enjoy graphic novels and you like Greek mythology and Persephone and Hades. Pick this one up. There's one warning I want to give you, and that is the fact that it is a little bit modern, and not only in the drawings but also the world. Like, the world is not like the old Greek way the Greek gods lived in, or if they're still alive, I don't know, but it is like a lot more modern, and that is something that I really enjoy. I love the text messages they are sending to each other. I love the technology that they use, especially later on in the series. And yeah, I'll show you some images just after this clip. So these were a couple of book recommendations for the summer. I hope there were some good ones for you in these recommendations. If you have other recommendations, then leave them in the comment section down below, because not only am I always looking for book recommendations, but this way we can give each other book recommendations. That is just something that might connect us all in one happy community. So that's kind of what I want to talk about right now. I think I might drink up my tea, read a little bit, and after that I am going to finish the mood board, because I really want to hang that one up so I can have my inspirational summer mood board where I can look at every day and hopefully feel inspired to go out. So this is everything that I'm going to use. I'm currently sitting on the floor because I'm too tired to actually clean up the dinner table. So we're doing it on the floor. I've got 2 pieces of A3 size paper which I'm going to stick together, so I have like a larger empty mood board to work with. Then I have obviously this and something to stick everything onto each other. I've got all the pictures right here. I printed all of these out, and I decided to actually color correct these in Word. I put all the pictures in Word, so it was easier to print them out, but then I realized not all the pictures had the same color tone. So I did that in Word, and I actually think most of them are looking pretty good. Let's cut everything out and put them on the paper. So I figured, as I was sitting on the ground anyway, let's wrap the vlog up sitting on the ground. And I am exhausted, I'm so tired, so I'm going to make this quick. But I am really happy with my mood board. However, I run into a little bit of bad luck. One thing, I ended up, I ran out of glue. So I needed to use duct tape because I didn't have glue anywhere in the house. So I need to get some. I also realized that my pictures were a little bit too small for the size that I wanted it to be. So I cut off a little piece, but then my pictures were still too small. So the next time I'm probably going to print out a couple of pictures a lot larger, especially the ones with a lot of background, like grass and forest and that kind of stuff. And yeah, so there's still a couple of spots left that I need to cover up with 2 other pictures, but I can't print out anything because I also ran out of ink. Yeah, so you guys will see the finished result at the end of this clip. I will insert it in there and you can see how it looks on the wall, and I'm really excited to hang it up because look at how pretty it is. I am so happy. It has like all the vibes I want for the summer. Flowery dresses, a lot of strawberries. I want to read as much as possible. Also pick up a couple of other hobbies like painting, writing, journaling. There are just a lot of things that I want to do. I also put a couple of pictures of activities that I want to do. For example, we're going to Paris. We're going to see the finish of the Tour de France. We're actually going to see the start next week in Lille, so that's really exciting. And I also will definitely visit a couple of my favorite places in Paris. The Eiffel Tower, the Sacré-Cœur, but also Shakespeare & Co. I also really want to visit the zoo, and I'm also going to, or at least I hope to go to a theme park in the Netherlands, the Efteling. And it's like one of my all-time favorite things to see over there. I love the fairy tale forest that they have, and yeah, it's just like all the vibes that I want to have for my summer, and I highly recommend you do this. Like, if you're not that visible as me and you think this is too much work, then just make a wish list. Just make a wish list of what you want to do, achieve, wear, or just a little bit of a reminder. Write it down, stick it against something, against a mirror on the wall, just as a little reminder and maybe as a little bit of encouragement, because I definitely made this more, not only as a reminder, but more as an encouragement to remind myself and inspire myself to get out more, because otherwise I'll definitely be stuck at home the whole summer and read, which is completely fine, but I want to have something to talk about when I get back home, back at work. And that's just something that I really like. And I also want to have a little bit of a memorable summer. And I think we all deserve a memorable summer. And it doesn't matter how you achieve that. But I think making a wish list, or a mood board in my case, is something that inspires us all to kind of seize the day. And I think that is just very, very important. So yeah, I hope this also inspires you guys. Let me know in the comment section down below what the things are that you would love to do, achieve, wear. What is your wish for this summer? Let me know in the comment section down below. I did read a little bit of 2 Twisted Crowns, not enough to give you guys an update, like only 2, I think I read 2 chapters. And there's actually a little bit of a twist in the second part. Like something to do with the heir to the throne. And I'm definitely curious to see how this is going to play out, because it's like one of my favorite characters. So I'm curious. I can't say a lot about it because it's a sequel and I don't want to spoil anything that happens in the first book. But yeah, it is interesting and I can't wait to read any further. And yeah, that is kind of like everything that I wanted to show you guys, talk about and do during this vlog. I am really happy with my balcony, how everything is turning out to look, and it is so much more cheerful. I actually went on a walk after dinner because I'm currently babysitting on my friend's cats. They're living quite nearby, so I actually walked to their house, and when I came back I saw my balcony and I was like, oh, it looks so colorful. I'm really happy with the end result. Sissi loves it as well. I love how it turned out and I feel so prepared for summer right now. I can't wait to tackle summer, and yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Next week we're actually going to do a little bit of a catching up with my reading journal, so I'm looking forward to that as well. But I need to buy glue before I start on that, because otherwise I won't be able to stick anything in my reading journal. So we're going to do that next week, and I hope to see you guys then. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you guys next week. Bye bye!